United States, Vladimir Artyomov,
And the reason he has been here so much is that
whose favorite city is Disneyland. I think we alluded to the fact that several of the Russian gymnasts think Disneyland, USA, is the greatest city in this country. And well, it might be. I certainly wouldn't want to argue with him. He's 23, 5'7".
Every single year.
I am so impressed with him because his gymnastics is, I believe, technically perfect most of the time. And so when he does a skill, even though it's extremely difficult, he just makes it look so easy. And you almost tend to just sit back and say, boy, I guess that just wasn't that hard. And yet everything he's doing is extremely difficult.
Recently, he racked up 2 gold medals, a silver medal, and a bronze.
He's a very, very friendly gymnast. I've competed against him before, and now I see him all the time when he comes to the States for competitions. Just a nice person.
Artyomov on the rings. You say that technically he's as good as anybody?
Absolutely, no question. That's a kip to an iron cross. Beautiful toe point. He's got perfect form. His body line is nice and straight. That's a whip it, swing to a handstand. This is called an inverted cross, an upside down iron cross. And another whip it. A little dip there as he tried to catch in the L. Be ready for his dismount here. First, a back-up rise. Extremely straight as he goes right up to a handstand. Giant dislocate, double layout. Little hop there in the end, but it's just a very, very good routine.
Vladimir Artyomov from the Soviet Union. One of the best in the world. Here's another look at his dismount.
This is a double layout, double backflip with his body straight, a giant dislocate to wind up, and zeroes in on the ground. Laying a little bit straight-legged, so he had to take that hop.
Novel floor exercise routine, which made her the 1986 Junior Soviet champion.
We turn next to Svetlana Boginskaya. She's 15 years of age. This is her second appearance in USSR USA Gymnastics competition or exhibition.
And she mounts with a round-off back handspring, full twisting double backflip. Look how flexible she is, how light on her feet.
Step with the music, Peter, as well. Every move, every gesture.
And you'll probably start to hear the crowd clapping along in rhythm with their layout. 1.5 step out into a round-off back handspring double fold. Double back flip, pardon me, a layout with a double twist. Beautiful turn. Now that's a required element.
Another of the overnight sensations. She's been doing this for 9 years. Started when she was 6. She's 15.
And her final tumbling pass. Front flip step out, round off back handspring, a layout with 2 twists, double full, we call it.
Svetlana Boginskaya. 15 years of age.
Our next Soviet
We'll see here again.
is a man of many dimensions.
Alexei Tinkoki is the next man up.
He is also
Floor
a
exercises.
poet, a musician, and a father of a 4-year-old son. He was a member of the gold medal team at the Goodwill Games in 1986. He won our 1986 American Cup and the International Mixed Pairs Championship that year.
He
and in his 3 trips
likes reading and listening to hard rock music, speaks English. He's from Siberia.
Mr. Alexei Tikhonki.
Tikhonki is the way he pronounces his name. It's spelled T-I-K-H-O-N-K-I-K-H.
He's a bit of a rebel. Pike straddle side, 1 3/4 dive roll. He was
national Russian team member since '83.
That's right. He was their alternate in the dual meet, and so he didn't compete, and yet his gymnastics is as good as any other member of the team. very reliable performer, but they just chose not to put him in this time and let a younger guy go.
They say that his routine on the high bar is something to see.
Oh, it's great. It's just really exciting. There's a round-off, back layout half twist, round-off layout double twist. Little bounce there. Full twisting side flip. Looks like he's rushing his routine a little bit. Now for his dismount. It's a round off, back handspring, double back flip.
Mr.
Alexei Tinkoke from the Soviet Union. We'll be back with more of the Russian-USA Gymnastics Summit. First, we'll pause for this. We return now to more action. Curtis Holdsworth. High bar. He's from UCLA. 5'4". Originally from New York City.
Curtis is certainly one of the most consistent gymnasts we have on the U.S. team. He rarely ever misses a routine. That was a beautiful one-arm giant sequence into a one-arm Ginger, simply similar to what Shushinova just did. Now watch this trick. This is a stoop into a full twisting Takamoto on one arm.
You want to say
Very,
that
very
again?
difficult. It's called a full twisting Takamoto, named after a Japanese gymnast, Takamoto, who did that with two arms years and years ago. And here's Curtis's dismount, a double layout. That was close to the bar. Wow. He almost caught his toes on that bar.
I've got to believe, performing here at Pauley, he might have put just a little extra effort into that. They're beautifully done.
Oh, you bet.
Curtis Holdsworth. We turn now to a young lady, Shelley Stack. Shelley is another diminutive miss, 4'7", 72 pounds.
American Cup. She's 14 and been in gymnastics a total of 8 years now. Please welcome national team member Shelley Stack.
Shelley Stack.
Shelley really came on strong at the American Cup, which is the most prestigious international gymnastics event that we host in this country. She placed third and did an incredible job. And she's so young. She's got a great future in store for her.
Here she is with the floor exercise, although she says her favorite are the bars.
Well, watch this routine, though. The music is just great. Round off back handspring, layout double full, into 3 flip-flops into a double back flip.
Did the crowd like it?
Oh, this is great. Now, she did all of those tumbling skills on one dial. It would take me about 3 floor exercise mats to do that. She's so tiny.
Well, she went corner to corner, Peter. She used up every bit of it.
And the crowd they just love this music.
And she's only 14, ladies and gentlemen.
Another tumbling pass. Round off, back handspring, double back flip, little stumble forward there. You know, I just get tired of watching this routine. She never stops. You see some women's routines where they have some sort of a slow transition in between. She just keeps going. Here's her dismount, just a pike back salto. That's a very simple skill relative to the other skills performed. She wouldn't do that in competition.
Shelley Stack, and the crowd loved it.
She just wanted to wow the crowd there. That was great.
14 years of age. Watch her again.
Okay, here's a round off, back handspring layout with 2 twists, right into another back handspring, another back handspring, 3 back handsprings there, into a double back salto. That is, that's a lot of tumbling in one tumbling pass.
Serve notice on the world.
No question.
To be remembered. Because in that competition,
this is Dmitry Bilozherchev.
Of the men's events, having just turned 16.
He suffered a broken leg
Came for the second time.
back in 1985. His leg was shattered in 42 places. And he may be a testament to modern medicine because it was first thought that the leg would have to be amputated.
Well, the way that this injury happened was unfortunate. He was drinking too much, and he drove his father's car into a tree, and that's how he got this injury and almost ruined his career.
Must have been the biggest tree in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
42 breaks in the leg.
Now, he's fabulous in pommel horse. Watch this flare work. Another one of these spindled flares going in the other direction, similar to what Kevin Davis did. He's just a master on pommel horse.
And that high leg routine, Peter, catches the fancy of the crowd as well, doesn't it?
Oh, you bet. They just love flares. I think kids love flares because it looks like breakdancing.
Amen. Dmitry Belozhurchev from the Soviet Union.
He still favors that leg.
Beautiful performance.
Yes, as you see him walk back toward the dressing room, it looks as though he might just
Many-time national team member,
have a slight limp.
And yet he still does these incredible tumbling skills. He limps onto the floor, does a great floor routine, and limps off. It's just amazing.
20 years of age. There he goes again. Next to Oksana Omelianchek.
And she's a real crowd pleaser. Tiny little gymnast. Beautiful Delchev into a backflip down to the low bar. Now, she missed this in the dual meet, but she did just great just there. A free hip circle and a layout double twist. Good routine.
She's 18, this young Russian gymnast. 4'10", 78 pounds, pure dynamite. Now a very special exhibition. The West Coast Waves, a rhythmic gymnastics team. They're based in Palos Verdes, Florida, California, excuse me, coached by Jolie Beretta and Sandy Conley. This group had two of its members on the USA Junior National Team, the recent USA National Championships.
And this sport is a new sport in international competition for many USA athletes. A lot of gymnasts that get involved in artistic gymnastics, which is our sport or my sport, tend to make a transition into rhythmic gymnastics. And it's an interesting sport. It's incredibly difficult. It's an Olympic sport. It was competed for medals for the first time here in Pauley Pavilion in 1984 at the Games. And now, because group exhibitions became so popular, now they have group medals for group performances.
In addition to the balls, there's also hoops they use as well.
That's right. They have a hoop, and I'm sure they don't appreciate this, but we probably most identified that with something that looks like a hula hoop.
Yep.
But they do something much more artistic with it. And they also have a rope. They have clubs, 2 clubs that they use, and they also have what I think is the most beautiful part of it, the ribbon. And yet they only compete 4 of those events at a time. So, for example, this year they may not be competing with the hoop, and they might be using the ball, the clubs, and the ribbon, and the rope. But then the next year they'll leave out the rope. It's a very different in the way that they treat their sport in competition.
Again, this is the West Coast Waves, a rhythmic gymnastics team from Palos Verdes.
And this is a sport that's taking off in our country. And here come the ribbons. I really like this part of rhythmic gymnastics. I think it's so beautiful.
So does the crowd.
I've actually seen performances where the ribbons are painted with fluorescent paint. They turn the lights off and put black lights on it. It's just incredible.
Halftime at the Super Bowl, huh? Members of the West Coast Waves rhythmic gymnastics team. Jolie Beretta and Sandy Conley are the coaches. We'll be back with more of the competition between, or the exhibition between the Russians and the United States, but first we'll pause for this message. And the young lady you heard from a few moments ago that thrilled and delighted the crowd here today almost as much as she did back in 1984.